you guys. So I'm doing something on my hair. I'm like deciding if I'm gonna like take it down or what I'm gonna do with it. But I just wanted to come back and give you guys a better or an update regarding the situation. So I don't know what the result of the hearing will be. I won't know that until maybe next week at the latest. But I did have the hearing yesterday, and I was joined by a local representative of the representative of the local NAACP chapter. So, Adolphus Pruitt was in my meeting, in my hearing with the school. So that was really cool. And like I said, we're still waiting on word, or I'm still waiting on word regarding the outcome of the hearing. But, just to get specific, if I wasn't already in the last video, when I was clearly a lot more stressed and shit. I mean, you can see it on my face. Lines coming through like I was fucking 5 years older or something. But what do you call it? Um, what's it called? Uh, the charges are harassment and violation of some kind of school code or a conduct or what have you. And what do you call it? It's all surrounding this email of, complete vagueness that has no reference to anyone whatsoever. And they've tried to conflate it to be about someone in particular. When I'm talking about racists and coons who are, you know, um, levying assaults against upon my education, that is a very wide range of, possibilities of what I could be talking about and who. Like I could be talking about, and I am talking about the entire system, the systemic and systematic oppression and dichotomy that leaves me as a Black woman and a Black trans woman going through what I go through at a white, predominantly white institution, you know, that used to own slaves, possibly some of my family members, and they won't tell me because they don't want to. They dropped the ball on that program because they wanted to. They got plenty of money. So, it is what it is. Um, but this same institution that might have enslaved my ancestors is going to sit here and try to get me on anti-blackness charges. And y'all sporting the fleur de lis symbol that is the same city symbol of St. Louis as of uh, New Orleans. And was a branding symbol that was used to brand slaves who ran away. So, I mean, it's very in step, very in step. You know, they're going to brand me because uh, it's very poetic. They're going to brand me because I speak out against anti Blackness. On a regular basis, I speak out against anti Blackness at this institution, within this institution, the systematic issues, the dichotomy of it all, and how people, everyone, not just white people, everyone is put above Black people. I've gone through many racial incidents on this campus with, people treating me horribly in the Indian community, people treating me horribly in the white community. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. And then you got people in the Black community who, are acting a fool, acting a fool. So, it is what it is. But what do you call it? Yeah, I brought up, a lot of different points. And the, representative from the NAACP, he was very good. He brought up a lot of pertinent issues. But I brought up a lot of good points, like how I am responsible for, changes in the very office that's investigating me, diversifying their office so that it wasn't just white people. And they tried to argue with me about that. Oh, race isn't the only way that diversity is counted, as you may well know. And girl, stop. There's no way to get away from having an office full of white people that is supposed to be diversity, equity, inclusion, equal opportunity in Title IX. It's the end. So, um, the same university that has declined to pursue any penalties for any of the people who have violated me, spit at me, assaulted me on campus, mostly white female students, but white males as well. And they're the ones who spit at me. Um, being chased and stalked at night into my apartment building, a group of white students yelling obscenities and you don't belong here, all this other stuff. You know, like I was in a sundown town in my own city, named after me, named after my lineage. Um, you know, it's just ridiculous. Technically, I wasn't in Ferguson, I was in St. Louis, but whatever. But what do you call it? I also made it clear that I gave this man grace. This man who you all are saying that you're coming up, because they are coming on behalf of this man. The university itself has decided to come on behalf. So they scoured my emails, looked for a vague email that mentioned him at no point, and they decided to implement him in this email and um, to bring harassment charges against me. So you all went after me to the fullest extent with formality and everything. But it took me all semester to report bias and discrimination and facilitation of a hostile environment on his part. It took me forever to report that. It wasn't until he was fudging my grades and disparaging my character in emails that he disseminated to other people. And that's another point that I made as well, which is that you all are sitting up here charging me with the exact same charges that I levied against this man, and you all declined to pursue. Oh, you know, we're not going to pursue anything. There's no harm, no foul here. When this man sent emails to my group partners and me disparaging my character that they can now take out for the rest of their lives and show to whoever, oh, Lynn's an issue. She's been difficult to work with all semester long. How do you get away with saying something like that and nobody at least says that was unprofessional? His colleagues did. Some of my professors, his colleagues said it was unprofessional, but the school didn't. What kind of sense does that make? Everybody know that's unprofessional. And he sent that immediately after one of the group partners sent me and the other partner an email that he didn't see of, cursing me out and disparaging me for my role, saying that I'm a liar and that I'm not a legal assistant, or at least I wasn't back then. And I was, and I am. So, it is what it is. Um, so I mentioned that as well. I was like, you all didn't have any grace in this. You are already dealing with a sensitive topic. You, as a predominantly white institution with the history that you all have, you bringing anti-blackness charges against a black person, that is ungodly. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable, inappropriate, in racially insensitive everything. Honestly, I feel like I should pursue charges of harassment against this university. Then how my whole thing is, how are you able to pursue charges against somebody on somebody else's behalf as the university? They're trying to disguise it as, oh, we have different branches that check and balance each other. You are still all a part of the same university. You are all St. Louis University. So if you bring charges against me on someone else's behalf of harassment, no less, one, how is that not bias and prejudice against me automatically? Because you brought the charges. You're not, it's not like it's two parties and then the institution is judging. You are the other party and you are the deciding, you know, um, person. You're the decider. So it's literally identical to the only other trial that I've had at this school, which was in a kangaroo court with this guy named Kingsley, who was from Nigeria, he was petitioner, claimant, um, uh, judge, jury, executioner, everything. He made the complaint against me, or one of the main complaints, and then he fucking was the judge to decide if I was culpable. That is not fair. And they knew that. So when I uncovered that, they did a new trial and they found me not liable and expunged that from my record. But they let that sophomore at the time, upperclassman to me, put that on my record initially. It's the same thing here. How are you, as the institution bringing the charges, able to be the judge in the case? That makes no sense. There should never be a way that you all are allowed to bring charges on someone else's behalf because you all are obviously going to be prejudiced. What the hell are you going to do? Say that the university was stupid to bring these charges? The only thing that you're really leaving as an option is, aside from guilt, a guilt determination, is the possibility that you won't give that and you'll, be lenient, you know? But either way, the guilt is already there because the institution itself has brought these charges. They're not going to do something like that and put themselves in jeopardy legally for like repercussion or something, for putting someone through some bullshit proceedings in a kangaroo court unless they fucking have the ability to back that shit up with enforcement. So, why would they not do that? It's just ridiculous. I also was like, okay, so an extension of that, what is the appeal process in that regard? Because if you're able to come on behalf of this person who's this constructed plaintiff, then are you able to also come on behalf of them for an appeal? So, like, I mean, it's just weird to me because, like, I have a new witness coming forth for the case against the professor that I'm thinking about making an appeal on. And my thought is, should I be deterred from bringing forth that case or reopening that case by, you know, a decision in this case that might be favorable, and then my need to not want them to appeal this and reopen it because I reopened that one. Now, obviously, that would be retaliation, but like, I mean, we see that they're already doing that. I mean, in a way that they think that they can get away with. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There are a lot of other points that I made as well, but mainly I'm just sitting here like, girl, what are you talking about? Of course, I mentioned that, when we use the word coon as Black people, I mean, obviously, where's the history of us being anti-Black with that word? We're clearly calling out anti-Blackness. That's what we're calling out. You can't say that a word that is used by a demographic of people. If we're considering the nuances of the fact that this man is Black, who you're trying to say this regarded, and that this word refers to this and it has this history, then we need to consider all the history of the word, including my race and my history and my people's history with the word. That is actually a word that was created to use against my people, not his people. We might both be Black, but he doesn't have a history with the word coon. I do. So it makes even less sense that you're relating this to him. But, you know, at the end of the day, um, what was I saying? At the end of the day, that's what the situation is. And my whole thing is, you know, not only the history of the word, not only your history as an institution, not only the insensitivity of this charge in the first place with my identity and my mission and my history, and then not only the lack of grace and tact and nuance that was shown in this situation. I mean, it's clear that the institution is coming after me because I told them I was going to sue them last year. It's clear. It's very clear. Nobody doubts that. Nobody denies that that's what's going on here. So, it is what it is. I'm not going to be suspended or expelled or anything. The worst that they can do is try to put something on my record, which might get in the way of me attending law school. So we will see. But whatever it is, you know, at the end of the motherfucking day, I let it be known, like, the little bit that I am going to acknowledge, these charges with, some kind of, give life to this, is to say that at the end of the day, there was no grace shown in this situation. There was no nuance applied and no grace shown. it could have easily been a conversation. Hey, we think we know who you're talking about, but like we don't. You clearly didn't name anybody, so you had a little bit of truth, you know. But the word you used, even though we understand there's a history of you all using it differently, it still has it's rooted in what we created as white people. So, we can't have that kind of language used on campus. Yada, yada, yada. Clear cut, very simple. I've always shown that I'm a workable person, and some of the professors who backed me attested to that. They're like, she's a very workable person. She takes correction very easily. She's not any kind of xenophobic. So I don't know what we're talking about here. And I will mention as well, the only professors who, I also mentioned the colonization of language and how you all get to create words and then punish us for the use of those words. What That's what I'm saying about no nuance, nothing applied, no tact in this situation. How on earth are you going to say something like that? That doesn't make any sense. You can't do something like that to somebody in that own demographic. These laws were created, and this is what I said as well. These bylaws at your school and these laws that they're based upon were created to protect an already marginalized and discriminated community against community from further scrutiny and penalty when they are the ones who are being wronged. But here you are using some bylaws that are meant to protect Black people to go after Black people, the same Black people who have not been able to successfully report and have resolved any anti-Black situation in all the years they've been here, and this their last year. So, it is what it is. We'll see what they end up deciding. But I did mention that, I have this new witness. And I don't know. I'm thinking about reopening that case because it's insane to me how you all sat here and you saw that man disparage me in those emails. He named me, he tagged me, he did everything with students in his class who I was in a group with. They can disseminate that and do all kinds of shit with that. You all let him get away with that. And then you turned around and before you even finished my investigation, started an investigation against me after snooping through my emails and deciding that I was talking about somebody I did not talk about or name in that email. The same person who I took a no contact order out on through the school so that we would have no contact. So that even shows intent to not have anything to do with this dude. You tell me. I ask you.